And when I worked as a door-to-door salesman, we had meetings every Saturdays. And the people that were hosting those meetings were actually millionaires in London. My boss was a millionaire. He lived in a penthouse, and very nice penthouse, by the way. And that, of course, when you meet people like this and when you talk to them almost every day, their ideas inspire you in some way or another, whether you want it or not. And the environment, the mindset people had in the company as well, of saying, look, now we're teaching you sales and we're teaching you recruitment and how to manage a team, that sort of thing. And this job was very hard. Doing door-to-door sales, it's very hard, especially for mentally. Mentally, it's very hard because I got paid according to the amount of sales I was doing per day. So, for example, if I sold 0, I got paid 0, right? And there were some weeks where Monday, 0, Tuesday, 0, Wednesday, 0. You wake up Thursday morning, you have to be tough mentally because, you know, at the end of the week, the landlord is going to ask for the rent, you need food, you need to pay for the transportations, for everything. And you know, London is a very expensive city. And when you've done the 3 first days of the week and you've done 0 sales, and then you wake up Thursday and you just like, look, now I have no choice. I need to actually step up and do something, right? It really is a bit hard and extreme for some people, but I think it helped build more character and more resilience as well.
Because what were you selling?
I was selling, it was charity work. For the charity was called NSPCC, National Society for Protection Against Child Cruelty. And basically my work was to knock on people's door and try to convince them to give money to this charity. So each time someone gave £10 a month, I got £30. Right.
So if they signed up for £10 a month, you would get £30 total. You wouldn't keep getting money.
Like it was £10 a month for 6 months.
Okay. So you'd get half of that.
Yes, and if they decided afterwards to cancel their donations, 2 weeks later they took £30 from my paycheck. Off my paycheck.
That's fun. I just had a conversation with a friend who he works in sales and a very big company, very big corporation, and they work in software sales. And he was telling me that sometimes there are people that make sales so big. So let's say they'll sell $20 million of software to a company, to a really big company like Nike or something like that. They keep 10% of it. So they get a $2 million sale. But if the company decides to renege on the sale, they decide that this software isn't for us, the person who made the sale has to give back the money too. So my friend was telling me that there are people that if they make a massive sale, they'll just quit that day, not even take the chance. Like they just made $1 million. They're like, because if they quit, the company can't come for them. It's in the legal contract that you can't give back the money once you've left the company. So it kind of, you know, I guess at every level of sales, there's that similar fear where you may have to give back your compensation if the person decides to go back on their agreement. But then you could just be like, I just made $2 million. I'm getting the fuck out of here, and I'm good for.
I would do the same.
I'm good for the next 10 years at least. You could live, depending on where you're living. You know, $2 million could be like 15 to 20 years. Right there, maybe like 15 years after taxes, and you're good.
No, it was the same system, and at first it seems very, very unfair because you just remember how hard it was to get that sale and everything, and 3 weeks later you got £30 less. Sometimes it was $60 or 90 pounds, sorry, and it seemed unfair. So, like, sales was really, really hard because every day I was talking to approximately 100 people.
Mm.
And every day you get rejected 97% of the time. People
Was
say
it
no.
legit? Was it legit door to door? Would you call? Were you actually walking from place to place, or what was it?
Walking place to place. It's
Okay, so
sometimes
literal
it's
door to door
running.
sales.
Yes, sometimes it's even running from
Yeah.
one door to the other, because
Yeah.
sometimes you lack time and you need the money, so you just like run. But I gotta say, I was really impressed by the amount of skills some people had doing this. For example, the person that taught me sales, his name is Edgar, and the first 3 days I was with him, and he was teaching me sales, and he was very impressive. Like, I was really impressed because he was just talking to people, and 2 minutes later he was in their living room having a laugh with them, and just the people were happily signing for the donation and giving even more than £10, sometimes 15, £20, depends. But I was really impressed by his skills, actually, and that's what made me want to stay in that company to learn those things, because I was really impressed.
What was he doing? What was he doing that you picked up on that was making him a good salesman?
He was faking interest, but so well. Honestly, he was faking interest. Like, at some point, I was shocked, because I was like, how dare he do such a thing? Like, it's evil. But at the same time, I was fascinated by this.
How do you know it was fake interest?
Because I knew like how he was, like his natural behavior. I know how he behaves usually. And when I saw him doing this, like, he was talking to me in some way, he was being normal. And sometimes, even before knocking at the door, he said, "Look how I'm going to get this sale." And he did. And that was fantastic. I was like, this guy's a genius, honestly. And I learned with him. So I feel very grateful for that.